Hi guys, and welcome back to JavaScript Playground. In today's video, we will talk about DOM, which stands for Document Object Model. When a web page is loaded, the browser creates a document object model of the page. So this document object model is the tree representation of the HTML document. In other words, the DOM is an object-oriented representation of the web page, which can be modified with a scripting language such as JavaScript. As you can see here, on the left hand side, we have some HTML code which represents a table. And on the right hand side, we have its document object model, so the tree structure. Let's try to understand this a bit. So the main parent element is called the root node. So in this case, we've got table as the main HTML element. So that's why table is the root node for this tree. Every node has exactly one parent except the root node, which has no parent because it's on the top. So as you can see here, the node rows has one parent, table row has one parent. So all these nodes have one parent, not more than that. A node can have a number of children. So as you can see here, table has a child rows node, and this row node has two children table row, and each table row has two child, which is table column. Then the nodes with same parents are called siblings. So as you can see here, the table rows, both the table row nodes are siblings because they have the same parent, which is rows node. Similarly, the first and second table column nodes are siblings because they have the same parent node, which is table row. So when we talk about same parent, we're talking about the immediate parent. All right, so that's all about this tree structure. Now, where does JavaScript fit in all this? Well, JavaScript can add new HTML elements and attributes. JavaScript can change any HTML elements and attributes on the page. JavaScript can change all the CSS styles on the page. JavaScript can remove existing HTML elements and attributes. And JavaScript can add and listen to HTML events like on click, on scroll, on hover, etc., etc. In the coming videos, we will talk about all these things. We will learn how to select HTML elements, how to update the content, the attributes, the styles, how to remove existing HTML elements, and much more. But before we get into that, let's learn how to connect JavaScript to an HTML file. To add JavaScript to HTML pages, we can either add a script tag, the same way we add styles tag, or we can create a new file and import it in HTML page. Let's try both. So first, let's try the script tag. So this script tag contains the JavaScript code, so that's why it has an opening and a closing tag. So we can run any JavaScript statements that we've learned so far. So let's try with something simple, say console log, and which prints this is JavaScript. Let's save it. And because this is supposed to be printed in console, so it will be visible in the browser console. So let's inspect it. Let's go to console, and as you can see here, we've got this statement printed here. This is JavaScript, and it also tells from at which line this code was executed. So it's talking about index.html file and line number 10. So if you check your code here, so this is line number 10, and we've got console log, and the file name is index.html. All right. Similarly, let's try creating a JavaScript file and import it here. So let's create a new file, say index.js, because JavaScript files have extension JS. Let's write a console log statement here, say console log, and let's say script loaded. And if you go back here, nothing changes. We're still printing this is JavaScript. Why is that? Because we haven't imported index.js file. Now to do that, what we can do is we can do type text and JavaScript, and we can give it a source URL. So src. So because it's in the same folder, so / and index.js. Let's save it. Coming back here, and as you can see, it's printing here script loaded. Similarly, if we had another script tag here, which prints another console log, say this is HTML head script. Let's save it. And as you can see here, both the scripts are loaded. So you can have both the internal script tag and you can import multiple JavaScript files. It doesn't have to be just one. All right. So right now we just printed console log, but you can do anything that you've done so far in JavaScript. So let's try printing an array here. So where an array, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can just simply do console log and an array. Let's save it. And as you can see, the array is printed here. So that's all for today.